why did you do it? Why did you run for office?
I got tired of supporting men for a position that I felt that I could do as well or better. I had an opportunity in 1972 to run in a single-member district, and that was a result of a court case here in Texas. And I happened to live in an area where there was a newly created district, and I ran in that district. Now, my experience may be just a little bit different than some of my colleagues here. I ran as a woman, which was difficult because few women at that particular time ran for office. It was not the common thing for women to do. The common thing for women to do at that particular time, and that was the era of Roe versus Wade, ERA ratification, was to stay home, to be a mother, to work on your job and take care of your family. And secondly, running as a woman of color made it a little difficult, and this is why. I had difficulty in raising money. My white counterpart would receive more money than I, and if you were a male, whether you were an African American, Hispanic, or white, you were definitely going to get more money, contribution-wise, to run an election. It was just that part of discriminatory in financing. In addition to that, when I came to the legislature in 1973, if you were a single woman with a good job or with a job, you could not have a credit card in your name. You could not buy a lot or a home in your name with your own money. And that particular session changed things for women. Women had an opportunity to become bolder because we had been suppressed for so many years in a certain mold that society had placed us in, that we were not allowed to break that mold or break out of that mold and do other things. And I think when I came, there were 6 women in the house. Kay Baylor Hutchinson was in my class, and so was Sarah Whittington. And we had one woman in the Senate named Betty Andrew Hall from Fort Worth. And it was a very small, we were in the minority, real minority, in the House. And to such an extent that when you got committee assignments that there was almost always something involving domesticated issues. Like we just didn't know anything else. We didn't have a brain for anything else. And it was not until the progression of women in politics over the years, until women began to have an opportunity to serve on committees and show that they could balance a checkbook and be able to read the stock market as well. And they can do some of the other things that men can do. And I was always telling my male counterpart, do you know who your first teacher was? Your mama. And she was female. And you had to remind them, but sexism just remained a part of politics for a very long time. And it's waning. There's still some remnants of it, but it's still some of it is there. But women have been able to feel good about themselves, and I think the more we feel good about themselves and take an inventory of the contribution that we can make, not just because we're women, but the contribution that we can make to society to make this a better place for all to live, then we're going to be better politicians and better citizens of our society.